The boy was named Sam, and the cow was called Buttercup. They met on a Tuesday, the first Tuesday of Sam's summer, when the air smelled of cut grass and possibility. Buttercup was not his. She belonged to Old Man Henderson, who owned the pasture next to Sam's backyard. She was a Jersey cow, the color of rich caramel, with eyes so large and dark they seemed to hold entire, quiet universes. Sam, who was 10 and felt the loneliness of an only child in a quiet house, started by tossing her apples over the split-rail fence. Buttercup would amble over, her swaying walk dignified, and take the apple with a soft, velvety snuffle that tickled his palm. Soon, he was bringing her pears, carrot tops, and once, a slightly squashed peanut butter sandwich she accepted with bemused curiosity. Their friendship became a ritual. Every morning, Sam would climb the fence and sit on the top rail. Buttercup would leave the shade of the giant oak and come to stand beside him, her warm flank a solid comfort against his leg. He told her things about how math was hard, about the frog he'd failed to catch, about the way his dad's job kept him away so much. She never offered advice, just listened, her jaw moving in a slow, rhythmic chew, her ears swiveling toward his voice point. One hot, still afternoon in late July, Sam found Buttercup not at the fence but lying down in the far corner of the field. She didn't get up when he called. A bolt of pure fear shot through him. He scrambled over the fence, ignoring the splinter in his thumb, and ran to her. Her sides were heaving, and her nose was dry. Sam didn't think, he just acted. He ran to the Henderson farmhouse, pounding on the screen door until the old man appeared. "It's Buttercup," Sam panted. "She's sick." Old Man Henderson grunted, pulled on his boots, and followed Sam back. He examined her, his wrinkled hands gentle. "Heat, and maybe a touch of bloat from the new clover," he muttered. "Need to get her up and walking. Help me, boy." Together, they coaxed and pushed. Buttercup, with a great sigh, heaved herself to her feet. For an hour under the molten sun, Sam walked slow circles with Buttercup in the pasture, talking to her in a low, steady stream, while Mr. Henderson fetched water and medicine. Finally, the cow took a long drink, nuzzled Sam's shoulder, and let out a low, deep moo that sounded like gratitude. After that, everything changed, yet nothing did. Sam still visited every day. But now, sometimes Old Man Henderson would be there, and he'd show Sam how to check for burrs in Buttercup's coat, or the proper way to scratch that sweet spot behind her ears. The farmer, who Sam had always thought was as gruff as stone, started sharing stories of how Buttercup's mother was the best milker he'd ever had, of the time a fox got into the henhouse. Summer waned. The apples grew crisp, and the light turned golden. On the last day before school started, Sam brought Buttercup her favorite, a ripe, red apple. He leaned his forehead against the broad, white star on her face, breathing in her scent of hay, grass, and warm animal. "I'll come after school," he promised. "I'll still come." Buttercup blinked her long lashes and licked his cheek with her rough, warm tongue, a gesture that made him laugh and wrinkle his nose. Years later, when Sam was in college, he got a call from Mr. Henderson. Buttercup was old, the farmer said, his voice rough. It was time. Sam drove home through the night. He was there in the pasture at dawn, the grass silvered with dew. He fed her one last apple, his grown-up hand looking strange to him against her familiar, aged face. He stayed with her, his forehead against her star, until the very end, his quiet tears lost in her soft, warm coat. Sam didn't become a farmer. He became an architect. But in every green space he designed, in every community garden or park, he'd find a way to include a bench under a tree or a patch of clover. And if you sat very still on one of those bench,